Jack Moore. I'm a senior director at E3, which is Energy and Environmental Economics. It's a consulting firm with also offices in San Francisco, New York, and Boston. So many. One of the things that we've done a lot over the last 4 or 5 years is look at different types of market designs. So either expansion of power markets to new areas that currently don't have a formal power market, or reconfiguration of the markets that are in place to try out and sort of experiment and explore how new types of policies would affect how the system operates and what kind of costs there could be from that. So for Plexus Cloud, we, about September of last year, we were embarking on a project that required us to really work at a scale that was very large in terms of the number of cases and sort of the size of the problems that we were trying to work on. And so we talked with Exemplar, who had suggested that cloud could give us more flexibility for being able to handle particularly the spikes in usage that we'd have, because our team would essentially have like long periods where we'd be working in the model and sort of setting things up, and then we'd get that ready and they need to run the things, and there'd be this big spike of a weekend or two where it'd be really intense. And so, cloud ended up being very helpful in that regard. When I talk to clients, I talk to a lot of clients who are, ask me about models and like what they would like to use. I think one of the things that I tell them about the advantages that I see in Plexos compared to other models is primarily that when we get a result that we don't think is intuitive or that we're not sure about, we often find, at least with our team, that we have a way to track that down and get to an answer of why the model did what it did. And it's logical in that way. And we just have a much better success rate in Plexos of being able to finally kind of get to why something happened in the way that it did, which I think has a couple benefits. One is, we can then change that and fix the issue for that particular project, but it also is really useful, I think, for our team to continue to be able to learn, rather than just kind of, hit some dead end or hit some cul-de-sac where we say, model's not going to do what we want it to do, let's, take a different approach. Instead, we can really figure out the overall dynamic and I think continue getting better over time because of it. So I'm a bit of a secondhand user because it's my team who uses it primarily, but I think definitely things that have been really helpful. I think they've said really good monitoring features to see and sort of keep track of where cases are, so that when we ask, hey, when do you think this is going to be done, we've got a good sense of that. Obviously, the ability to run a lot of things in parallel has been really helpful, and then the ability to select which configurations we want of different machines has been also really good for keeping consistency across cases or trying out things in different Plexus versions even. It could be really useful, I think, one, for if we're working with clients who want to use it more on their own. I think that could be conducive to that, as well as just having more folks in our team, even those who are not quite as adept at coding, be able to look at results. For our future at E3, I think it really helps us. It really helps us to execute something that I think that's important to us, which is to be able to create models and cases that our clients could then maintain and sort of carry forward. So it's not just only driven by our limited number of people, but really can sort of have a life that kind of continues beyond just one engagement, one project. And yeah, I mean, for the future, a lot of the work that we do is working in, looking at long-term future of energy and power systems. And so within that, there's a lot of exploration that we do, looking at how markets change through 2050 with lots of changes going on in the system. So this last year, we definitely got some really good suggestions on sort of approaches to use for some of the more complicated issues that we're dealing with. And I really liked a few folks who were willing to really get creative and think about not just sort of what is there now, but how could you piece together different things to get that to work. I appreciated sort of the speakers that we had here, and just casual conversations either with Exemplar staff or with fellow attendees. Definitely recommend it.